And welcome back. Well, these volunteers hope to make one quilt for every day of the year. Their goal, yes, is to make 365 custom-made quilts and give them to kids who are sick or abused. Now, the organization is national. It's called Quilts for Kids, and there's a chapter here in Milwaukee that helps kids locally.
Yeah, Renee Henning is the founder of the Milwaukee chapter, and we're excited to have her here in amongst all of these fantastic quilts, including this one that I have on my lap. And what's cool is I thought I had the front, but look at this. This
Beautiful.
is so cute, and I think a child would love this. It's the cat in the hat, but it's also a story on here, right? What is the story?
Well, a lot of our quilts actually are made from fabric panels that are books. So the children who are hospitalized spend a lot of time sometimes, you know, if you've had an organ transplant, cancer treatment, and other chronic illness, you spend a lot of time in the hospital. So also our quilts are multifunctional. They're there to comfort them, cheer them, and also entertain them in a way. So some of these have a story. I'm working on a pattern that's going to be a checkerboard so that they can actually play while they're there, because, you know, it's all designed to comfort and cheer the children
and their families.
Yeah.
So, and you've got a big goal this year. How are you going to hit 365? Because you're at how many now?
We're about 63.
Okay.
And as long as the fabric keeps coming in, I have a great group of ladies who are working very hard. Most of these ladies are making these quilts in their own time, in their own homes. We do meet once a month, the second Saturday of the month, at a sewing store in Elm Grove called Bigsby's, where it's just like an open sew.
And it's social too, right?
It's very social. So you can come for a little bit, you can stay for the whole day. I was amazed on our first meeting, the ladies who drove in from quite the distance. You know, here I thought, oh, I'm not going to drive, you know, too far. And I have ladies drive from as far as Portage.
Wow.
So it's
and
very
let's talk
social.
about the fabric, because you use discontinued pieces, unwanted pieces. And what's so, I think, interesting about quilts and that concept is that what you bring together by doing patchwork is something beautiful out of what basically is a rag to some people.
Well, we do use, it's got to be new fabric and 100% cotton fabric. A lot of it we get from, almost all of it comes from donors or from the volunteers' stash that they have. So, because each chapter is self-funding, so we are very dependent on donations. We are a 501c3 organization, so your donations are tax deductible. We're looking for a corporate sponsor right now, because to keep that fabric coming in, that's my biggest challenge. I'm not as concerned about getting to 365 quilts, because these ladies are working very hard. It's keeping them in fabric. I feel like I'm, you know, feeding a small army.
So it's not the labor, it's the materials.
Right, it's more the materials. I mean,
so how can people help if they're watching? I mean, obviously, if you can sew, great, but you've got a great staff. What you need is fabric. So people out there who have new cotton fabric, what can they do?
Well, they can go to my website, which is quiltsforkidsmilwaukee.org. And they can email me through there and arrange to drop it off at either Bigsby's, or I can meet you somewhere to pick it up. Also, if you go to national site, our national website is quiltsforkids.org, and there you can make a cash donation. There's a little icon. Just please make sure you put Milwaukee chapter in the notes section so that it actually goes to, you know, our local community.
And how about the kids who get these, you know?
Well, and that's the fun part, because it's kind of a mixed emotion. One of the first quilt deliveries I did, you know, obviously this child is sick and it's struggling and something's happened, and you feel so good, but yet you feel so bad all at the same time. So it's this real, you know, fun mix of emotions. And that's what I'm finding with some of my volunteers. They've experienced some sort of loss, be it a child of their own, a grandchild, a friend's child. So these are things you wouldn't normally talk about if they're in your past. You kind of keep them there, and all of a sudden you get to know the volunteers, and you find out that they're actually helping their grief process and memorializing that important individual.
Well, and it's like their very own blanket. It belongs to them. It's special and unique, you know, and they keep it.
Right, and I mean, it's theirs forever. And the thing is, a lot of hospitals, you can't bring in a stuffed animal because of the allergens. You can't really wash it, and that's why it's so important. Our quilts are all machine piece, machine quilted. We can't have anything that's hand done. As much as that works beautiful, it's got to be durable to withstand the industrial washers and dryers that you have at the hospital. So because they do have to be laundered frequently. So, you know, that's why it's so important to have the high quality materials that we use.
I think it's great. People can come and volunteer with you, help out. You do not have to be a quilter.
No.
There's lots of jobs that you can help out with. It's the second Saturday of the month from 10 to 3 at Bigsby's Sewing Center on Watertown Plank Road in Elm Grove. Again, the website locally is quiltsforkidsmilwaukee.org. You can contact Renee to also donate fabric or other things as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I want to thank the ladies who are volunteering their time and their resources, because I couldn't do this without them.
For sure, and I love that you shared that video of us with us of the kids actually getting them. That was so cool.
Yeah. No, that's the best part.
Thank you. It's nice to have you here. Keep up the good work.